Welcome to the India-Sweden Innovation Day 2023. This is the 10th edition of the Innovation Day, and it's made possible by the Indian Embassy in Sweden, India Unlimited, and Sweden-India Business Council. I am Artie Davis, the COO of Sweden-India Business Council, and I will be your moderator for today's opening panel. Before we start, I'd like to welcome our opening panel speakers on stage. His Excellency, Minister Andreas Carlson, Honourable Minister of Infrastructure, Government of Sweden, if you could join us on the stage. His Excellency Tanmaya Lal, Ambassador of India to Sweden and Latvia. Sanju Malhotra, CEO, India Unlimited. And Robin Sukhia, President, Sweden-India Business Council. Sanju, if you'd like to start us off.
Okay. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Namaste. A really warm welcome to His Excellency Andreas Carlson, Honorable Minister for Infrastructure. His Excellency Dr. Jitendra Singh, who will be joining us online, Minister for Science and Technology, Government of India. Ambassador of India to Sweden and Latvia, Honorable Tanmaya Lal. Ambassador of Sweden to India, Honorable Jan Teslev. Would be wonderful if we can keep your phones in silence, please. Thank you. And Robin Sukhia, Sweden-India Business Council. And a really warm welcome to all of you to join us so early in the morning. India-Sweden Innovation Day, Accelerating Green Growth, marks the 75th anniversary of the diplomatic ties between India and Sweden and the 10th India-Sweden Innovation Day. We started India Limited 10 years back, and our purpose was to connect Sweden and India through business and culture. A word was coined when we started called optimation. That is that we do this with optimism and determination, and it's something we've been doing for the last 10 years to make sure that the sambandh and the connections between India and Sweden keep growing. Today, as our program will clearly show, that how India and Sweden forge even closer collaboration. We have a really fantastic day, and our main purpose, of course, is to see how can we address both our own issues, but also global issues while achieving our goals and commitments to the path of net zero. And our purpose and response to this is a call to action, urging the acceleration for innovative solutions by harnessing the power of tech and digitalization for green growth transition. None of this would have been possible without the fantastic support of the Embassy of India in Sweden and Ambassador Tanmaya Lal. We are so grateful. Sweden-India Business Council, the Confederation of Indian Industry, who is also here today with an innovation delegation from India. So a really warm welcome to all of you who have come all the way from India to join us here in Stockholm today. We would also like to thank our partners, and to mention L&T Technology Services, Saab, Energy Agency of Sweden, Volvo, IVL Consat, Emirates, Swedish Ministry for Innovation, and many more who have been a great source of support in making this day happen. So thank you, and a warm welcome to all of you to have a really fruitful, engaging day at our Innovation Day. Thanks.
Thanks, Sanju. Innovation Day at 10, India, Sweden at 75. For our next welcoming remarks, Robin, I'd like to say a few words.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. There's no one who can argue or disagree with that the next decade will be India's decade. And I think what we're looking at right now is a very, very interesting, move forward in all different aspects, not only in technology, but also in industry as well, as we can see with the delegation joining here today. So first, Excellencies, thank you very much also for joining here today, and all of you in the audience. It's very nice to have you here. We have a lot of people coming during the day. And I think you'll see one thing which I would stress or challenge you on is see if you can actually during the day talk a lot about India, because I know when we meet a lot of people, there's, oh, what have you been doing? And you talk about current affairs, but India is the focus of the day. Innovation is the focus of the day. And something which we did this year to celebrate not only the India and Sweden at 75, but also this is the 10th year of the India-Sweden Innovation Day, is that we launched something called the Sweden-India Innovation Bridge. Why? Very simple. In Sweden, we have been, as you've seen, we've been number 1 and 2 on innovation for so many years. But the countries like India and Brazil, Indonesia, and other countries are coming very, very fast. Why? Because in those countries, you live in disruption. There's something happening every day, which means that people are brought up, but coming up with solutions which are for today. Whereas we in Sweden, we sit and think and we innovate with the version 10.0. We can't wait with the version 10.0. We have to get to the market quicker. We have to learn how to do that better. And nobody's better to helping us with that than India. Because in India, you live with disruption, you think through disruption, and you have solutions that can come with version 3.0 many, but that's good. Maybe historically, the solutions weren't maybe that good. Today, top quality on everything you look at, especially in the tech world, in the automotive industry and other industries as well. This is something that we need to harness, and we need to do a lot more to connect our two countries on this. And this is why the Sweden-India Innovation Bridge was formed. So today, I hope you have a great day and mingle a lot. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Robin. Jugad, Frugal Innovation, the History of Learning with Disruption. Ambassador Tamalal, can I ask you to share your thoughts?
Good morning, everyone. We are honored that Minister of Infrastructure, Mr. Andreas Carlson, has joined us today, and Honorable Minister for Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh, has shared his remarks on this occasion. I would also like to thank my colleague, Ambassador Teslev, who would be joining. As was mentioned, this is the 10th edition of the annual India-Sweden Innovation Day. It brings together policymakers, researchers, businesses, and investors. And this last decade has really seen a great upswing in the India-Sweden partnership and a very rapid expansion of our business, technology, and innovation linkages. During this period, I understand that more than 110 Swedish companies have entered India, and a significant number of Indian businesses have also started operations in Sweden. According to the recent India Business Climate Survey conducted by Swedish Chamber of Commerce in India and the Business Sweden, nearly half of Swedish companies invest in R&D and product or solution development in India. 1 in 5 have their own R&D centers in India, and this includes several leading Swedish firms, including, for example, ABB, Atlas Copco, Epiroc, Ericsson, Getinge, Höganäs, SKF, and Volvo, and many others. Many of these are all based in Pune and Bengaluru. Several Indian companies are also working on innovative solutions in Sweden. An India-Sweden Healthcare Innovation Center has come up. Indian and Swedish agencies have stepped up collaboration through jointly funded calls for proposals for innovative solutions for green transition. And these areas cover from energy to water, mobility to smart cities, and circular economy. And these are also some themes for today's discussions. India-Sweden partnership is intensifying as we mark 75 years of our diplomatic relations this year. In the last 9 months alone, there have been 12 ministerial interactions between our leaders. There have been several high-profile business delegations, and I welcome the CII delegation here today. Some with very special interest in building clean collaborations for decarbonization in sectors such as steel, cement, and pulp and paper. The Leadership Group on Industry Transition, Lead It, is an important example of India-Sweden joint global initiative on developing and expanding use of cleaner technologies. Another very significant development has been the first ministerial interaction in the India-EU Trade and Technology Council, the TTC, during the Swedish presidency of the EU. As was mentioned by Robin, a transformation is underway in India, The scale and pace of change is now exponential. Within a decade, India has grown from being the 10th largest economy to becoming the 5th largest economy, and it is the fastest growing large economy today. India today is also the world's 3rd largest startup ecosystem with over 100 unicorns. India is climbing rapidly on WIPO's Global Innovation Index and has moved up nearly 40 places in the last 8 years. Going forward, India is among the most significant players, both for global economic growth, for de-risking of supply chains, and for the talent pool for researchers, engineers, and professionals. For both the European Union and the United States, India is a trusted technology partner. The historic moon landing by India's Chandrayaan-3 mission has been a huge accomplishment by Indian scientists and engineers. It has also demonstrated the advanced capabilities of India's private sector, both large companies and SMEs. Indian companies are also designing and supplying critical equipment and components for several international mega science projects. An Indian spacecraft, Aditya, is now traveling to the Sun-Earth Lagrange point, nearly 1.5 million kilometers away from Earth, where it will act as a solar observatory. A human space mission and a deep ocean mission are coming up. All these technologies, from space to deep ocean, have a strong use across the development spectrum, from ICT to education, life sciences to agriculture, fisheries to blue economy. India's uniquely open digital public infrastructure and AI are catalyzing innovation in many of the fields that I just mentioned. India is a prime example of how technology and digital solutions are being leveraged to make development interventions at population scale and speed, with implications across the world. Not only growth and sustainability, but also to manage global challenges ranging from pandemics to climate change. And all these offer unlimited opportunities for collaboration. Sweden, of course, is a leader on innovation and sustainability, and we look forward to ever closer partnerships between India and Sweden to find innovative solutions. I would like to thank the India Unlimited, the Sweden-India Business Council, and the Confederation of Indian Industry, and all the other partners for helping organize this event. We are grateful to Honorable Minister and from both India and Sweden for sparing the time for this event. This is extremely encouraging, and we look forward to their insights and guidance for today's interactions. Thank you very much.
We are very thankful to have both ministers with us today. Before we address the inauguration keywords, I'd like to invite a digital address from Jan Teslev, Ambassador of Sweden to India.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good morning from sunny New Delhi. I'm delighted to be with you this morning to celebrate the India-Sweden Innovation Day with a special focus on accelerating green growth. This is an annual event made possible by the Embassy of India in Stockholm, together with the Sweden-India Business Council and with the collaboration of India Unlimited. Today, we are very honored to have with us the Honorable Minister of State for Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh, and together with him, the Swedish Minister for Infrastructure, Andreas Carlsson. Their commitment, their presence is something that we treasure, and is a good sign for the future as we continue building our relationship. A relationship between India and Sweden built around innovation and sustainability. Our relations, in diplomatic terms, this year, 2023, celebrates 75 years. And we also have another important anniversary to celebrate, and that is 5 years of the Joint Innovation Partnership for a Sustainable Future that was concluded in Stockholm in 2018. on the occasion by the visit of the Honorable Prime Minister of India. For our 75th anniversary, we have also, and I think that's symptomatic, we have chosen a subheading or a theme that captures what we are going to discuss today, and that is Swedish innovation made in India. This is not something we are dreaming of, this is something that is happening as we speak. Together, India and Sweden have transformative powers in bringing together innovators, scientists, and businesses through policies, through research, through industrial collaboration, and not the least, through joint co-funding. I referred earlier to the joint partnership that was concluded in 2018. And in a very recent business climate survey that was published, we see how more than 70% of the respondents of the Swedish companies active in India, they see this partnership and the innovation ecosystem around them in India as a strongly positive factor. I went on a road trip together with my esteemed colleague, His Excellency Tanmaya Lal, the Ambassador of India to Sweden, just a few weeks ago. We started out in Stockholm, we went on to Linköping, then to Malmö, then to Gothenburg. And we could see with our own eyes, we could listen with our own ears, how people from business, people from academia, from different kinds of institutes, from different walks of life, actually testified exactly to the importance of this partnership and of innovation and sustainability as key ingredients. So we have done our field work when it comes to this. We called it Time for India. And somehow when you look around, it's not only time for India, but it's also India's time. India's everywhere, and everywhere for good reasons. Both India and Sweden have committed themselves to a net zero target. By innovating together, by co-creating together, we can reach those targets. Our session today, India-Sweden Innovation Day, is a perfect platform for exchange, for listening and learning. I'll be with you, I will listen, and I will learn, and then we will draw our conclusions how to bring our relationship to yet another and higher level. Thank you very much.
You've heard a lot of numbers of the years and the anniversaries that we're celebrating, but I'd like to pick one word before we go further, and that's ecosystems. And that's really what is being built and strengthened as we work together year in and year out. And to give us his words in the inaugural speech on these thoughts, I'd like to invite His Excellency Dr. Jitendra Singh, Honourable Minister for Science and Technology, the Government of India, to share his thoughts with us.
His Excellency Andreas Garrison, Honourable Minister of Infrastructure, Government of Sweden, Ambassador of Sweden to India, Honourable Thesleff, Ambassador of India to Sweden, Honourable Tanmaya Lal, Robin Sukhia, the President of Sweden-India Business Council, Sanjay Malhotra, the CEO, India Unlimited, delegates, ladies and gentlemen, Namaste. I stand before you on behalf of India and on behalf of the Government of India to address the 10th edition of the India-Sweden Innovation Day. In 2023, we, both the countries, commemorate also the 75th anniversary of the diplomatic relations as well as the 5th anniversary of the Sweden-India Joint Declaration on Innovation Partnership for a Sustainable Future between both the countries, a momentous occasion that serves as a guiding theme for the 10th India-Sweden Innovation Day. This milestone, ladies and gentlemen, is an event centered on harnessing our respective areas of expertise and also spearheading the environmental friendly, sustainable growth, all with the aim of realizing a net zero future to which the Prime Minister of India, Honorable Shri Narendra Modi ji, has been reiterating India's commitment and resolve from time to time. Dear delegates, the year 2023 is also important because this year 9 Swedish companies made a visit to India under the India-Sweden Innovations Accelerator with the aim of enhancing export and investment prospects in the field of green technology, which is one of our priorities, thereby fostering stronger ties with Sweden and India in that sector. Our diplomatic ties have prospered due to our shared values and dedication to our trade and globalization. It brings me a great amount of joy to see that innovation cooperation is the most rapidly expanding aspect of the bilateral relationship between India and Sweden. You will recall, ladies and gentlemen, that in May 2022, Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, and Prime Minister Andersson of Sweden reiterated their dedication to fostering collaborative research and innovation across multiple domains, including the polar and the space research. The partnership covers several areas, including smart cities, transportation, e-mobility, energy, clean technologies, new materials, space, circular economy, bio-based economy, health, life sciences, etc., etc. And therefore, I can say with the confidence that the India-Sweden Innovation Partnership bridges institutions, R&D intensive industries, and also the creative entrepreneurs to address global challenges in line with the UN Sustainable Development Goals. You will recall, friends, that last year, India and Sweden announced the India-Sweden Joint Call for proposals within circular economy. The joint program, co-funded by 9 Indian and Swedish funding agencies, and a total of 3 major projects were supported under the call. A memorandum of cooperation, MOC, was formally endorsed on the 13th of March 2023, forging a partnership between the Science and Engineering Research Board, the SERB, Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, and the Swedish Foundation for International Cooperation in Research and Higher Education, the STINT, the Government of Sweden. The collaboration is geared towards enhancing cooperation and fostering research connections among all the academic institutions in India and Sweden, and also to promote knowledge exchange and research through advancement by facilitating seminars and workshops and conferences. I am glad to share with you that recently the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, in collaboration with the Swedish Government Agency for Innovation Systems, namely Vinnova, has announced the India-Sweden Collaborative Industrial Research and Development Call. And I'm also happy to share that this initiative forms an integral part of the broader Sweden-India Innovation Partnership, which collectively enhances competitiveness and tackles pressing global issues such as climate change and sustainable development through innovative solutions. I come forward to encourage companies from both sides to engage in collaborative research and the exchange of human resources. I hope for India and Sweden to strengthen their collaboration, enabling them to effectively address pressing global challenges while remaining steadfast in their pursuit of immediate objectives of the path to achieve a net zero future. Mr. Andreas, I personally, and on behalf of India, the Government of India, express my gratitude once again for your participation, and I eagerly anticipate collaborating with you to enhance our bilateral partnership, especially in the realms of science and technology, and also thereby to bolster our innovation ecosystem as a whole. I would like to extend my heartfelt appreciation to the Indian Embassy in Sweden, the Sweden Embassy in India, the partner agencies, all the esteemed guest speakers, the industry partners, and the rest of the participants who have contributed to the success of this event. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for those kind words. Coming back to Stockholm, coming back to this room, I invite Minister Andreas Carlson for our closing remarks and key thoughts on the way forward.
Honorable Minister Jitendra Singh, Mr. Ambassador Tanmaya Lal, Mr. Ambassador John Tesleff, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, and India-Sweden friends, good morning to you all. It's my great pleasure to be here together with you this morning to celebrate a very special year for the friendship between India and Sweden. 75 years of diplomatic relations, 120 years since the first Swedish company established presence in India, and 5 years of Sweden-India Innovation Partnership. The Innovation Partnership has really become a cornerstone for our bilateral collaboration since it was signed in 2018. It is much more than a piece of paper. It is a commitment to co-creation and co-development, aiming to solve big challenges in areas such as green transition, clean energy, health, and transportation. It is an example of the unique commitment that both government and business have to our relationship and of the possibilities that lie ahead for our two countries. I had the privilege to lead an aviation delegation to Mumbai and New Delhi in April this year. We had the opportunity to explore further cooperations with the Indian government and the business community. India is, as you all know, making considerable investments to build new airports and to upgrade existing ones. And Sweden has extensive experiences in this field with solutions for remote tower control, air traffic management, airspace design, sustainable airport operations, and much more. There are great opportunities for collaboration between India and Sweden in this sector. In Mumbai, we met with 3 major business houses, Tata Group, Mahindra Group, and L&T Group, to strengthen business links in the aviation sector. In New Delhi, I met with the Minister of State for Civil Aviation and the CEO of Delhi International Airports to discuss ways of collaboration in the aviation sector. I also inaugurated the EU-India Aviation Summit, which focused on how we can strengthen air transport connectivity between India and the EU. And as Mr. Ambassador Tanmaya Lal mentioned, the TTC was important, and for Sweden, it was a priority during the presidency of the European Council to form even closer ties between the EU and India and between EU and Sweden at the same time. I met with the Minister of Environment to discuss how we can work together to make COP28 in Dubai as ambitious as possible. I also met with the Minister of Housing to discuss how we can strengthen our already existing partnership on sustainable urban planning. In all these areas, innovation is in front and at center. I left India with a clear conviction that the ties between our two countries will only grow stronger in the years to come. And I would thank Honourable Minister Jitendra Singh for his personal message, and I can underline that I see a bright future for the collaboration between Sweden and India. Ladies and gentlemen, Sweden may not be the most populous country in the world as India, but we are one of the most innovative countries in the world. India has the speed, the scale, and the talent pool of the world's largest democracy. We also see India taking a leading role through its G-20 Presidency, where innovation, future of technology, and taking a leading role in the sustainable to have key priority for a green transition. When we combine the strengths of India and Sweden innovation and our systems when it comes to innovation. We can create solutions that benefit our economics while also helping us reach the Sustainable Development Goals and the Paris Agreement. Or let me put me like this, to quote one of the business leaders I met in Mumbai. He had long experience to cooperate with Swedish companies. For decades he had been working together with a Swedish company in India. He said that Sweden and India, when we work together, is an unbeatable combination. Just to underline the bright future ahead based on a strong commitment and strong relationship for decades, yeah, actually for 120 years to start with the business cooperation. Through innovation, Sweden and India can take a leading role internationally. Indeed, we do it already as co-chairs of the Leadership Group for Industry Transition aimed at decarbonizing hard-to-abate sectors. As we celebrate 75 years of bilateral relations, we should feel proud of all we have achieved. But the journey doesn't end here. It has only begun. When we stand here again in 25 years, celebrating 100 years of bilateral relationships, I will be here. And I'm convinced that we can look back on innovations and co-creations that have changed the world for the better. The India-Sweden Innovation Day brings together government, business, and academia who are essential to enable this vision. So once again, it is a great pleasure to be here this morning to welcome you all. My 7-year-old son this morning said, "Oh, Dad, are you going to India today? So exciting." Or is it so that India will come to you? That's funny, I think. And it's a great honor to welcome you from India to this very important meeting today. And I wish you an inspirational day with fruitful discussions. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Your Excellencies. Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard what the inauguration panel today. Co-creation requires collaboration. It requires investments in research and development, innovation, technology, and as Minister Carlson just said, the sky is the limit. Thank you so much for joining us, gentlemen, and we'll move on to the business panel. If you give them a warm hand of applause.